Subscribe, please.
Hey guys, welcome back. It's your favorite Gimp with a Limp, and I am back with the next part of Thunder in the East by Frank Chadwick. And I gotta say, I was actually really tickled on the last video. I got some comments from Alan Emmerich, one of the co-designers for the game, giving me a few tips. I really do appreciate that. Keep popping them out for me. I appreciate it. The game's awesome. I'm really enjoying it, and definitely keep me in mind if you guys need some playtesters for the next part when you guys release, I think, the Mediterranean game that's coming out later towards Kickstarter, because I'm really looking forward to that one as well. All right, we're going to pick right back up where we left off with the Russian turn, which is in the beginning of their declare battles step. I've already got out a bunch of these question mark markers because most of the units are undeclared, and Alan did take and clarify that for me that they are not going to take and flip over. So we're going to be guessworking this and hoping that these untried units are actually worth their salt when they're flipped over and they're trying to throw some rounds down range, but we're going to have to figure that out as we go. One other good little part that we have for this is I've got my new Marine Corps dice tower that was given to me by Mo from Mo's Gaming Table. I definitely appreciate that. Really like this dice tower here. Recommend it to you guys if you haven't seen it. Check out my Where Did I Get My Tweezers video. It shows the dice tower and all that other good stuff. But thanks, Mo. I really appreciate that. Semper Fi there, buddy. All right, we're going to take and declare our attacks. And I was kind of eyeballing this beforehand, and I don't really think I can declare that many attacks. I want to declare which ones I can to try to help the Russians out, but they don't have any air power to use. They can't use air power until the start of the next Axis turn, right? So they're kind of restricted on what they can do. Plus their line was busted up pretty good. You can see there's holes busted in here and here and here and here, where it's all got knocked around. So they don't really have a whole lot of cohesion. Plus, without knowing the unit strengths, they don't know where to really try their attacks. So I'm just going to try to focus on busting in just a couple of holes here and there where I can to try to take and slow down the German advance. Maybe just get counters tucked into their line a little bit, hopefully affect their communication and supply routes. Maybe just threaten them a little bit. I mean, some of these bigger units like these Panzer armies here, the Russians just don't have the amassed forces around them to try to do any hurt to them, and more than likely will just lose units if they try to throw attacks at them. And I mean, maybe could get a retreat result if they got really lucky rolls, but I actually think that the Russians are going to do really well on the Hungarian border, but I'll show you guys that here in a sec. Let's take and zoom down to the table, and we'll declare some of these attacks, and then we'll do the south side. Okay, up here on the north side, I was thinking about it. I'm like, okay, where am I going to throw these attacks? And this 8-4 army unit, the really northern one, I'm going to go ahead and just throw an attack down south into this 6-4, try to kind of tuck him in here behind. And the reason I'm doing that is just hoping for a lucky roll. The guy, he's going to get tag teamed, and he does not have the points, like the strength to take and get even a 3-2 advantage. He could only get, he would need, one more point. It would need to be 9-6 to get a 3-2. So he can get a 1-1 attack, which is better than nothing. So where's my 1-1 marker? Where is my 1-1 marker? I'm trying to find it. Here we go, 1-1. They're the red ones. So we're just going to take and go there, hoping that we might be able to get a good roll here and cause a retreat and force that one back off the line a little bit so it'll slow down the advance that's coming on him on the next turn. And then over here, I'm going to go with this 8-4 army unit into this 2-4-3 German unit, because he does get a 2-1 advantage there. So at least he is getting a little bit of advantage. It is still clear weather, and he's attacking into a clear terrain, so there's not going to be any modifiers there to worry about. That's also clear terrain. Yep. And let's see. I do have 3 units here surrounding this stack. And one of these, because there's 2 German units here. There's a 3-4 and a 6-4. All right, so this is a 6-4 that was reduced in the previous attack phase, one of the few losses that I took. Oh, not going to count as red. It wouldn't be one of my videos if I didn't. So I'm thinking I've got an 8-4 and I've got 2 untried units next to this stack. And if I get lucky and these untried units are pretty decent, they might actually do some damage to this stack and slow down this push that's coming in here. So we're going to take and throw an attack there as well. Let's take and throw down our marker. We'll put it right here. And let's see, where else do we want to take and throw an attack? This guy, he's pretty well screwed. There's, I'm just thinking, like, do I throw an attack? And you know what? He's going to die anyway, so why not? Let's throw an attack, because otherwise he's just going to get pinned in. So there's really, no reason for him not to, because otherwise on the next turn he's facing at minimum a 12 to whatever his battle strength is, and that's without any units moving. And this could still move a panzer unit, this major panzer unit up, and turn that into a 36 to whatever. So there's no reason for him not to throw a single attack and just to hope for the best, that maybe he'll do some damage before he dies. Go out swinging. I like that idea. So he's going to take and attack this other German 243 unit. Because this one, it's a 4-6. The defense is 6. This defense is 4. So maybe he might end up getting a 1-to-1 there, hopefully. This 8-4, I'm not even going to take and throw an attack with. And the reason for it is because I want him to remain at full strength. If I don't take and keep him at full strength, if he takes a loss or gets a bad result and has a retreat, it's going to be a quicker push for the Germans on the following turn. So at least if he stays there where he is now, then he'll take and block him off. He'll be another roadblock in the way of them trying to push on towards Moscow, because getting to Moscow with Stalin there is a quick victory for the German unit. So anything in between them and Moscow is a good thing. This guy's definitely not going to attack, because that's a massive advantage for the German units. That would be a one-sided fight, but we do have a good option here, maybe, because this is an 8. But this is a 8-4 unit here with a cavalry unit and then a untried unit. But the only problem is there's that river there, and plus there's 2 units in this hex. I think there's 2 units in this hex. I knocked them, so I would like to throw at least a attack with this group. Let's see, 10 to 6. That's about 3 to 2 odds, isn't it? Yeah, that should be 3 to 2 odds. Yeah, because 9 would be 3 to 2, so that would get him at least 3 to 2 odds against this one. So yeah, we'll throw the attack. We'll take and do it. Where's my 3 to 2 marker? Okay, so we'll take and throw this one down, and I'm not going to take and... Oop, I got on the wrong side up with 2 to 1. It's a 3 to 2. Oh, that's going to get dropped down. That's got a minor river, so that will get dropped down to a 1 to 1 instead of a 3 to 2. I'll go ahead and switch that out. Oh, do I want to take and do that attack? You know what? We're going to go for it, because we've got to take and throw out some attacks. The advantage is to the attacker in this game. You want to be on the offensive when you can. And the Russians, I just don't think are going to have a whole lot of battles that are heavily in their favor. So they need to take whatever chances they can to try to slow down the advance. All right, so we've got this line of attack set up. Let's take and pan down south, because the Russians are going to take and declare a mess load of attacks down there. Okay, so I've panned down to the southern side of the board. Again, bear with me as the camera angles get a little funky as I take and move around the table. But like I said, it's a big game, and I've got to take and angle the tripod all around the table as I go along. So just bear with me. But I'm looking at the Hungarian and the Romanian borders down here, and these units did not get to take and do anything. They don't get to take an attack into Russia or exert a zone of control into Russia until a certain point in the game, which I think is actually the next turn, but I'll check the date specific. But they don't exert that yet. So there are a couple of German units here in the middle, and then there's some up there at the top there at the southern border of where we've been dealing with thus far. But the way I'm kind of figuring it is if the Russians take and the Romanian units are pretty decent, so they might not smash up too many of those, but these Hungarian units are garbage. So they can at least smash that line to remove this threat, and that's going to open up all these units to take and threaten the southern end of the German push. So then the Germans are going to have to take and divert units to cover their southern flank from all these opened up Russian units, all right? So it'll take and put a threat on them and have it to where they can take and, you know, try to mess up some of these German units instead of just letting them push on. We'll have to see how it pans out, but we are going to take and declare a couple of attacks down here. I'm thinking, where are we going to go? What are we going to attack? Let's see. I can either attack that center one. Their strongest unit is this 4-4 here, and I'm probably not going to attack that one. But we'll have this untried and this 8-4 attack this 1-2-3 here, and then we'll also have this untried infantry attack this 2-4 unit. Just to declare the attack, we've got a couple of motorized units here that can take and attack this 2-4. And then we've got one more untried motorized unit here that can attack into this 1-2-3. We'll have to take and make sure we account for the fact that they're in the mountains and whatever modifiers that might apply to the combat, but we're going to go ahead and declare that. Now I'm wondering, I've got another cavalry unit here, and it's an 8-4 army unit with a cavalry unit. Do I want, I don't know. Let's see. Oh, okay, we'll go with this attack instead. Because that's a defense of 6, and that, oh no, there's the river there, so he would suffer that as well. You know what? I'm going to hold back on that attack simply because he would be attacking across a river into a mountain, so he's going to be suffering probably like 2 losses for doing that. We'll let the Germans, if they want to take an attack across and suffer those losses in combat odds, we'll let them do it. The Russians just can't afford the combat odd losses as far as that goes, in my opinion. So let's take and see what other attacks we can get. Do we want to take and put any into Romania? Yeah, let's take and try to smash up just a few other units. They have pretty decent 4-4 units. I mean, they're not the best, but they're decent. But we can take out some of these other units that they have. See, they've got a 2-3-3 unit here. We'll take an attack into that with these two to get a pretty decent odd. And then, see, all these guys are in the mountains. Would that be across the river too? Yep, that's across the river. That's across the river. Is this going to be? Yep, that's across the river. I don't want to have the Russians incurring a penalty on top of that. Damn, I got to be able to get more than one attack, but there's just natural borders. Can I take... Damn, all these guys are attacking across rivers. All right, let's take and switch this around a little bit. Let's take and have this one untried unit here attack there, and we'll have this other 8-4 unit take and attack the other one. Try to weasel down a couple of their weaker units, see if we can do just some damage to the Romanian units to slow them up a little bit, put some heart down on their southern flank. But this way, a lot of this is... Damn, it's still open. It's not good terrain to attack across with the river and being mountains. I just don't want to attack into it. But we will try to do a lot of damage into the Hungarian border and see if we can just clear out those units to remove that entire threat. All right, let's pan back up to the top. We'll get started with the whole attack sequence. Okay, we're back here up at the top, getting ready to start our northern attacks. We have declared all of our battles. That's our first step. We don't have to worry about any of the blue because that's our air. And again, we're not worrying about air units. Yellow, again, optional, so we don't have to do that. Now it's just resolve our ground battle steps, so we're going to take and handle that now. So we'll start here and we'll just kind of work our way down and we'll adjust it as need be. And this is going to suck for the Russians because they got just this lonely little red die to handle. It was so cool during the German first step where they're rolling 3 and 4 dice and just laying waste to everything. And the Germans are just, or the Russians are like, please just let us kill something. I guess it's probably how, Blitzkrieg really was. All right, our first attack here is a 1-to-1 attack, and we're just going to be rolling our single die and comparing it on our table. And unfortunately, you guys can see 1-to-1 is all the way over here on the left, where normally the attacks we were seeing were at least up here in 3-to-4, 3-to-1, 4-to-1, and upwards of 8-to-1. And those don't have bad results for the attackers, even on a 1. Here, a bad result can cause an attacker loss. So hopefully they're not going to get a attacker loss on this. We'll have to see how it pans out. All right, so first attack, 8-4 against a 6-4 German. Come on, big money. 4, okay, not too bad. Let's see, 1-to-1 on a 4 is going to be attacker pressed. Ooh, damn, they needed to roll high just to get a stalemate or a defender pressed. To see, what does attacker pressed do? The attacking player must choose one of the following outcomes. One attacking unit, attacker's choice, is reduced, and then all defending units are retreated 2 hexes by the defending player, and one attacking unit advance after combat, or no effect. I think we're going to go with no effect because I don't want to reduce any more of these units. So this is simply going to be nothing. Okay, well, better than what it could have been. See, our next attack is going to be this one, which is a 2-to-1, 8-4 against this 2-4-3 unit. Let's take and run our combat here. Come on, big money, big money. No whammy. 1. Look at that 1, man. That's what I'm talking about. They're going to get crushed. No effect. Okay, they got lucky. Nothing happens. No units are reduced or retreat. God, they got lucky on that one. Oh, they got so lucky on that. Oh. All right, let's take and throw that one out. Let's see, our next attack is going to be here, and we're actually going to have to take and determine what our odds are on this one, since we've got 2 untried units. And of course, I knocked this around. Come here, you. This is why you need to use your tweezers instead of just trying to fat thumb it with your big dumb hands. All right, so we've got a 2-4, which wasn't that good. I was starting to worry, but then we have this 4-4 unit, and the 4-4 is attacking not across a river. So I had evidently messed that up previously, that if you have some units attacking across a river and some not, you do not get the river penalty. So this is good for us. We are not going to get that combat odds shift. So this is 6 points plus our 8 gives us 14 points against a, what is this, 3 and 6, 9? I have to do this. Let's see. It's not 2-to-1, so I'm going to say it's 3-to-2 odds. And grab my marker there. I do believe that's 3-to-2. Okay, so I think this is a 3-to-2 odds. You guys let me know down in the comments if I'm way the hell off on that. But I do believe it's a 3-to-2 odds here. We don't have any others because this is clear terrain. So total attacker strength of 14 versus the defensive strength of 9. Let's take and roll it on our 3-to-2 odds table and see what we get. All right, so let's roll it and see what we get. 5. All right, there you go. They're getting some big money on that one. 3-to-2, 5. Defender pressed. The defending player must choose one of the following outcomes. All defending units are retreated 2 hexes, and then one attacking unit may advance after combat, or reduce one defending unit, defender's choice, and there is no retreat or advance after combat. Okay, do I want to take the loss, or do I want to retreat back and have to retake some of this ground? Hold on, I got an idea. So you guys are probably going to be like, "No, don't do that, dummy." But we're gonna do this and see if it works out for us on the next one. So these guys are going to retreat 2 hexes, and the 8-4, of course, is going to take an advance up, get across that river. That attack taken care of. All right, that's what I'm talking about. Russians are doing good. They're getting across there and slowing up some of this German advance. Next one we have is this, which was an undeclared, but it is, oh, this is so bad for them. It's a motorized unit, but it's only a 2-5 against a 2-4-3. Their defensive strength is double their attacking strength. So that is going to be a 1-2 attack. I'm good at figuring out the numbers with the exception of that 3-2. That just, for the most part, throws me for a damn loop. So, oh well, it is what it is. So they are having a very poor attack where they can suffer some serious losses here. Let's take and roll on it. They are on the farthest left. 1-2. The best they can hope for is actually a defender pressed. So let's see what we get here. Come on, big money, big money. 2. They're crushed. Attacker loss. They are going to reduce 1 attacking unit, attacking player's choice. So, since they've only got the 1 stripe unit there, this one is going to go off. And it is one of those motorized units, the ones that I had mentioned in the previous video. So when these units come off the board, you're going to take one of the 8-4 units that are on the top of your Russian player mat where you've got all your stuff organized. And you're going to take one from there and bring it down to your force pool. And these guys are removed. So I have to keep track of that for later, but that did not work well for him. And do I have any other attacks up here? Does not look like it. So, well, actually, nope. I've got one more right here that we'll handle before we take and move down into Hungary. All right, so this is a 1-1 attack because they are getting penalized for that crossing of the river, unfortunately. Otherwise, they would be rolling on a 3-2. Hopefully, they won't take too much damage. But let's take and see what happens to the Russians on this one. 1-1. Come on, big money. And that is a clear, right? Yep, clear terrain. 6. There you go on a 1-1. So there's going to be some good odds. Defender press. Best they can hope for. Pressed. Defending player must choose one of the following. All defending units are retreated, or you're going to take and reduce 1. All right, since this is this one, do I want to retreat it 2 hexes? You know what? I can afford to retreat him 2 hexes. And because they're not going to, the defending player doesn't want to advance. Is that may advance or has to advance? May advance after combat. Okay, so they're definitely not going to want to advance. So we'll take and retreat him. Boom, boom. 2 hexes because I don't want to take the loss if I don't have to. I want to keep those units as beefy as possible. And the thing is, he's right there on that river, and that river is giving them some defensive bonuses. So moving up just a single unit puts it into the German line, which is good to help, cause some problems for him and some speed bumps. But it also makes it to where he's much easier to be destroyed because he will not have the river in between him and attackers. So I'm trying to keep defensive minded. We'll see how it pans out for him. But at least it forced them back, put a little gap in their line. All right, let's take and pan down and see how the Hungarian line handles their attack. Okay, so I went with this angle. I think it's a little bit easier for you guys to see versus where I had tried to go previously. This way you're kind of like top down onto the attacks, and we'll see how these this works out for it. All right, so let me remember where I got my attacks going. Should be these 2 against that one, then that one, and then that one, and then that one. All right, so these 2 are the only one that's a double. Okay, yeah, I think that's right. Okay, so we have another untried unit here. Oh, and these are all mountains. I forgot something. When I was doing it, I was thinking the mountains was just a shift, but the mountains is not just a shift. The mountains, wrong one. The mountains do all non-mount units are totaled, then halved, attacking into, okay? And you get a -1 odd shift. So this is going to go so badly for him. Oh, I really should have checked that beforehand. But it's all right. Mistakes happen, so it's, like combat, commanders make bad calls and the troops end up paying for it. So let's take and see what our strength is here. 2-4. God, they are just getting bad odds. Okay, so they get a total of 10, half down to 5, attacking into this. All right, so, and a negative odd shift on top of it. Yeah, because they're halved. And then 1 odd shift down. Okay, so total is 10, half down to 5. That would give them a 2-1. but they're getting shifted down again on top of that, which is going to only give them a 1-to-1 attack. They would have had a 5-to-1 attack with the exception of attacking into the mountains. So you guys can see the mountains are crucially important. And this is also why you don't want to let something happen like your units get unsupplied or something of that nature that's going to cause them to suffer that half attack power, because you see how much it's costing them on this. All right, so 1-to-1 attack. Oh, it's brutal. Against a 1-2-3 unit to attacking, and they're only getting a 1-to-1 attack. That is, oh God, that is brutal. All right, roll it. 5. All right, decent. 1-to-1 and a 5 is a stalemate. 1 defending unit is reduced, and then 1 attacking, it's defender's choice and attacker's choice is reduced. No units retreat, and there is no advance after combat, even if no defending units remain in the battle hex. Okay, so since this guy is reduced, he is killed off the board. And I'll tell you what, we will reduce this small, tiny little 2-4 unit instead of our 8-4 army unit. That is leaving a hole in the line, but it's all right. We can deal with it. Now, this is probably going to go bad because I've got motorized units the rest of the way down along here for this attack, and they're all going to be getting halved and torn up. So let's see how it pans out. All right, well, no, this is just an infantry one. Okay, 2-3-4 against a 2-2. He is halved down to a 1, so it's a 1-2, and then 1 shift down, which is still going to be a 1-2. So this is a 1-2 attack, and into the mountains. And this roll, hopefully a high roll, will prevent them from suffering losses. 6, that'll do it. A 1-2 attack is a defender pressed. Nice, look at that. The defender gets to choose. Retreated 2 hexes, and then the unit may advance. Since the Hungarians have so few units, they are definitely going to retreat a couple of hexes. We'll take him back him up into the city. So you guys can still see the dice there. Yeah. And do I want to advance him? Let's see. May advance after combat. Do I want? No, because I'm wanting to bring them up over here and pressure into the Germans. The Hungarians really aren't the threat. So I'm going to leave him there on the mountain. So, hey, that's not too bad. You can do okay with a 1-2 attack if need be. All right, so we've got 1 more here and then 1 more here for our Hungarian line. Let's see. This is also an untried unit. Ooh, here we go. We've got a decent one, which actually is kind of bad because he's going to be suffering some penalties. Motorized unit, 6-3-5. All right, into a 2-4. So he's naturally a 3-1 as far as combat's concerned. He's getting halved, so he's a 3-2. Hey, an easy one to actually figure out, 3-2 odds, and then shift it down. So he is also going to be a 1-to-1 attack. So let's take and roll it real quick and see what we get for this 1-to-1 attack. Oh. Attacker loss. And this is a decent motorized unit that I'm losing here too. That is another 8-4 unit that has to be taken and brought down and brought into the force pool for later reconstruction. Okay, so we got 1 more attack down here. Untried unit. 3-5, so nothing horribly nice. But the thing is these guys can be built up, so you don't want to take and lose them if you can avoid it. Oop, I accidentally flipped him. There we go. All right, so also not a mountain unit. Let's start running our math. 3-1. He's going to get reduced down. He's going to get cut in half. So he's 1.5 to 1, which is 3-2. But then he's getting shifted down again. So it's effectively 1-1 is what it comes out to be. So it's another 1-to-1 attack. Let's take and roll on it and see what we're going to get. Man, these mountains are just tearing them apart. 3 on a 1-to-1. It's going to be a no effect. Okay, so no effect. I'm good with that. I didn't lose a unit on that one. Man, these attacks, I got to say, I did not do well. So far in the line of attacks that we've done up until this point, we have lost 3 Russian units and only killed 1 unit, and I think pushed back a couple more. Yeah, we've pushed a couple back. No, we pushed 3 back along our route, so that's not too bad. Killed 1 and lost 3. So this has not been a good attack, and this is probably just me doing bad, ideas and bad strategies, but we'll see how it pans out. Let's take and hit our Romanian line, and that'll cover our attacks for this round. Okay, for our last couple, all we've got is these 2 attacks into the Romanian line here. The 8-4 army unit into the 2-3-3, and then the untried unit into the 2-3-3. So let's take and do our army unit here real quick. Grab this off. Why did I put an untried marker on there? Oh, you can tell it's late when I'm filming this. Okay, so he is attacking across a river, but it's still good weather. And he's attacking into good terrain. Now, he's attacking into a city hex. Let me check real quick to make sure a city hex does not affect it. Yep, so a city hex is actually going to cause no effect as far as the combat is concerned. So that's a good thing for him, but he is still getting a 1 odd shift down. Now, he is a 2-to-1 odds, so it's going to get dropped down to a 3-to-2 odds for this attack. Not the best, but not the worst that we've had this round. I don't think I've gotten above a 3-to-2. Yeah, I don't even think the Russians have had 1 2-to-1 attack thus far, but it's, again, probably due to my crap strategies. All right, so let's run this 3-to-2, see what we get. Come on, big money. 2 is not big money. What the hell? All right, no effect. I can take that. That's not too bad. At least our army unit is not being damaged horribly there. So let's take and check this one. See what our untried guy. Good God, another 2-to-4. So it's already under strength. So it's already a 1-to-2 attack. Yeah, because it's not even 1-to-1 because the defense strength here is 3. And they're attacking across the river. So this is a 1-to-2 attack, the worst that I can get. All right, let's take and roll it. See what we get. Come on. I need that 6. Let's press them. 4. Let's see. What does a 4 get us? No effect. The last 3 attacks of the turn was no effect, no effect, no effect. All right. I'll take it. No effect is better than what we could have had. Okay, so this is the state of the board here at the end of the Russian attack phase. They're going to pick up with their follow-up after attack and all the other stuff. We'll pick that up on the next turn. I think it's going to be the regular movement phase. And then we'll do our cleanup phase, at which point we'll be looking into what the weather is going to be for the next turn. Adding in units possibly for the next month, because I think the next turn actually does trip us over into a new month as well. New cards and new everything else will come into play. So we'll take and pick that up with the next episode. All right, that's it for this one. You guys take care. I'll catch you in the next one.